Competing polls and what to make of them. I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.media. During election campaigns, we get inundated with polls, sometimes with wildly different results. It can be confusing. It can be maddening. What to make of them all? I'm going to look at two different polls released this week and explain the differences and tell you what to look for. With polls and the results that they may foretell, what you're looking for is a trend line and a path to victory. Are the polls leaning in the same direction as other polls, like all of them saying the NDP is rising in popularity? Okay, that's one thing to look for. That's a trend line. The other is the path to victory. Who has one? Who doesn't? And then there's also questions of methodology and poll quality. Now, there's a poll out from Forum Research putting the NDP at 40%. That is far more than anyone else. They also put the Liberals at 30% and the Conservatives well below everyone else at 23% nationally. Angus Reid a day earlier had the NDP at 36%, Conservatives at 32%, and Liberals at 23%. What can I say about this? Well, Forum uses interactive voice response, meaning no real checks and balances, no idea who's picking up the phone on the other end. They also include all eligible voters, whereas Angus Reid uses likely voters, a big difference. Forum polled 1,440 people, Angus Reid 6,226. In an online panel. Now, there's a screening process to get in this panel. There's checks and balances, and this type of polling has been proven accurate by Angus Reid, by Ipsos, and Abacus, to name a few. So of those 6,226 polled, 1,365 said, probably not going to vote. So why count them? That left 4,861 likely voters, and they said the NDP's in the lead, the Conservatives are in second, the Liberals are in third. All right, now let's look at the regional breakdowns, because in this election, national numbers mean next to nothing. Voters in different parts of the country are in wildly different moods. In Atlantic Canada, it remains the Liberals all the way. The Grits they have 39% support. The NDP are second at 30%, the Conservatives at 25%. And look at how many people were polled just in Atlantic Canada, 1,049, a hefty sample. So the Grits could pull a few more seats in Atlantic Canada, but neither the NDP or the Conservatives are going to be wiped out if these numbers hold. In Quebec, Angus Reid has the NDP way out in front, 51% support. Liberals and Bloc tied at 17%, Conservatives at 14%. That could see the NDP pick up a few seats, but given the Bloc has only 2, the Liberals 7, the Conservatives 5, those parties are likely going to hold most of that. There could be a few switches here and there, though. Ontario is the dogfight. 35% support for the Conservatives, 33% for the NDP, 28% for the Liberals. Now, this is bad news for the Liberals. Despite hype about Trudeau bringing Quebec back to the Liberal fold, if they want to win, they need Ontario, and it doesn't look like they'll get it. That said, the Conservatives could lose some of the 69 seats they currently have in the province. The Liberals could lose some of their 13, but also remember the NDP support, it's concentrated in downtown areas, urban centres like Toronto, Hamilton, St. Catharines. And Ontario gets 15 new seats this election. Angus Reid doesn't do in this poll what so many others do. They don't lump the prairie provinces all together. Manitoba had its own significant poll. 823 people, and 44% there say they'll back the Conservatives. Liberals at second, 27%. The NDP, third at 24%. In Saskatchewan, the Conservatives are in the lead at 48% to the NDP's 31% and the Liberals 18%. In Alberta, 58% for the Conservatives, 21% for the NDP, 13% for the Liberals. It's only when you get to British Columbia that there is a battle again. Angus Reid has the NDP in the lead there, 37%. Conservatives at 32%. Liberals well back at 22%. And remember, BC and Alberta each get 6 new seats in this election. Quebec gets 3. All of this based on population growth. So looking at these numbers across the country, is it actually a wipeout for the Conservatives or the NDP going to get a landslide? At this point, I'd say neither. The NDP support in Quebec is so dominant it throws their national numbers higher. They can't win that many more seats there. The Conservative support across the prairies is solid. It's unlikely to move away in a significant direction. And that leaves Ontario and British Columbia, the two battlegrounds, and in those provinces, the vote is up for grabs. The NDP and the Conservatives both have potential paths to victory. The Liberals do not. Not at this point. Not at this point, anyway. But remember, the campaign is early. Things can change for all the parties. And events beyond our borders or inside our borders, but outside of the campaign, could play into all of this. So don't start writing off Stephen Harper just yet or referring to Tom Mulcair as Prime Minister Mulcair. Lots of things can happen between now and October 19th. And when you look at polls, look at the quality, look at the questions, look at the methodology, sample size, and all of that. It's a wild and woolly day, a wild and woolly campaign between now and Election Day on October 19th.